But I want to ask Mr. Shashidhar Reddy, who is just joining us, that, the opposition is saying that, safety has been compromised, that some of the safety funds have been underutilized, and ultimately the buck has to stop with the minister. They are giving the examples of Mita Banerjee resigning, of Nitish Kumar resigning. In fact, I think Mita Banerjee was minister in your government. The NDA government won when she resigned after a train accident. And Nitish Kumar also resigned after a train accident. So why shouldn't the same precedent apply to the current railway minister, Mr. Ashwini Vaishnaw? Mr. Reddy.
No, I think right now the priority would be, the rescue relief that is going on and all the efforts to save those who have been grievously, seriously injured. While that is being so, and also the restoration of the railway line, which is extremely important because it's a very important line that, on the east coast. Now, coming to the kind of the demands are always made. Opposition makes demands, but the kind of the manner in which the ministers following up with all these with these efforts, and then the inquiry will be the railway safety inquiry that is totally under the Civil Aviation Ministry. The CBI has now been entrusted. The railway itself is conducting its own inquiry. And how could this happen? Who is responsible for it? Let things come out.
No, but Mr. Reddy, also please explain to our viewers, if you're saying that the fault seems to have been with the electronic interlocking system, where there is minimal human interface, then where is the question of sabotage, or why is the CBI looking at a criminality angle? Because as per your own this thing that it has minimal human interface or intervention. So if the electronic interlocking system has developed a fault, then why is the CBI getting involved?
No, it is minimum. It was not totally ruled out. We have to look at all angles. This is something that has been even suggested by some opposition leaders of some kind of sabotage kind of possibility. So let us just be patient. Let these things settle down. Let the first things be done first. Resignation and other things are.
No. So I want to ask Mita Chakraborty. This is data that's been put out by the BJP about the number of accidents that have happened when the UPA was in power and when the BJP is currently in power. The number of accidents between 2004 and 2014 was 1,700 plus. In the last 9 years, it has been 600. So it has almost halved, in fact, come down to less than half of what it was when the UPA was in power. And there are details of, how many accidents happened when Nitish was the minister, when Mita Banerjee was the minister, when Lalu Prasad Yadav was the minister. There was the maximum number of accidents of any railway minister in the last 20 years. So the Congress asking for the resignation of the current railway minister is a bit rich, because the number of accidents were manifold more when the Congress was in power.
Okay, but you have to also look at the extent of the accident. As I said, in the past couple of decades, we haven't experienced such a horrific incident where more than 280 people have lost their lives, and the count can still go higher. Now, that's my first submission. Secondly, we keep talking about coverage, right? The anti-collision system. You have to bear in mind that the final report, either by the Railway Board or now that the CBI has been involved, have not been filed. So to say that this accident has taken place for this in a conclusive manner is an error to start with. We see that in the high density network of around 35,000 kilometers, only in 4% of that network, the covered system has been installed. So my query to the BJP spokesperson will be that after such a high pitch launch of the covered system, why is the implementation of coverage not taking place? Why is it so slow? We know that there are 3 vendors who have been given the responsibility, and yet we see that only 4% coverage of the high density network of around 35,000 kilometers by coverage. When we talk about funds not getting allocated for safety, when we talk about not enough being done. We saw in Chintan Shibir by the Railways Minister hours before this accident took place as how presentation related to railway safety got completely ignored and sidelined. So it exposes a mindset. When we talk about 3
No,
lakh,
but Mita Chakraborty, you know, this is data that's been put out. Well, one second, ma'am. This is, I'll get the BJP spokesperson to respond to your question. I think it's a valid question on the coverage, but the data that's been put out by the Indian Railways, the total expenditure on track renewals between 2004 and 13 was 47,039 crores. There's been a 2.3 times jump to 2014 to 2023. It's 1,09,023. Similarly, when it comes to safety-related works, you said money is not being spent on safety-related works. Expenditure on safety-related works between 2004 and 2014 was 70,000 crores. There's been a 2.5x jump to 1,78,000 crores between 2014 and 2022. This is the data that's been put out by the Indian Railways.
If you purely go by figures, there is a factor of inflation as well. Numbers will only go higher. I am saying that whatever funds you have allocated, I have given you an example as how in the year 20, there was a shortage of funding done in 2017.
There's a 2.5x jump in the amount of the expenditure on safety-related works. 2.5x.
Were being actually spent.
No, there is a 2.5x jump in the money that's been spent on safety-related work. But anyway, let the BJP spokesperson respond. Let Mr. Reddy respond to your question on the Kavach anti-collision system. Why were none of these trains involved in the accident that happened on Friday? Why did they not have the Kavach system? Mr. Reddy.
The Kavach system is a totally indigenous system evolved in the last 4 to 5 years, and for it to be perfected and put in place, it needs validation for a certain period of time, and that has been completed. And this was an initiative of the South Central Railway, which is headquartered in Hyderabad. And this has to be rolled out to different parts of the country. Okay. And it will take some time. The German technology, the Siemens offers this. The German technology or any other technology outside the country will cost at least 5 to 6 times the cost of what it will cost us in India. So this is something which needs to be rolled out.
Let me ask Manojit Mandal, is it right though for opposition politicians, of course you are well within your right to ask for Mr. Vaishnav's resignation, but to land up there at the scene of this accident, say that we will give more compensation than the centre, to say that the centre is just doing these cosmetic changes, Vande Bharat, so on and so forth, and no money is being spent on safety, when the data that I just cited, 70,274 crores was the money spent on safety-related expenditure between 2004 and 2014, and between 14 and 22-23, 1,78,000 crores has been spent. When the data is showing something else, for opposition politicians to land up at the scene and play politics, the BJP is accusing you of politicizing deaths.
Oh my God.
Manojit.
One bridge collapsed in 2018 in Calcutta. 1 person were killed. Just 1 person. What did you say? I mean, BJP, including the Prime Minister, just one bridge collapsed in Calcutta. The bridge was 100 years old. Right? I mean, let us not. If we had the accident in Gujarat also a few months back, 142 people were killed. So these are accidents which are taking place in BJP's regime, and if we just point out the critique, we are doing politics. Then what you have been doing? And Jaka, for God's sake, you are missing a very interesting point. Technology has now gone up. The quality of technology, the advancement of technology. You have 5G technology, 4G technology. The GPRS or Google system has become so accurate that you can actually point at the destination very accurately. These things are very much there. And you are in 2020, 2009 and 2010, 2012, you do not have the 4G technology. Now you have 4G, 5G technologies.
No, so